Hey, this is Matt once again with about 10 videos of the paid request. This time for Michael. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the film That Was Then, This Is Now, which came out in 1985. It's based on an S.E. Hinton book. She also wrote The Outsider's book. And I didn't even realize that the author was a woman. But apparently S.E. Hinton, she used S.E. for her novels because I think her publisher told her, yeah, do that because some people are going to be uneasy on buying a book from a woman, which that was the case back in the day. Now, The Outsiders, I want to say Rumblefish was another one that was made from her works. This one, it seems like in terms of critic and maybe even commercial, did the least, did the worst. Now, it's directed by Christopher Cain. Christopher Cain, I think it's the stepdad of Dean Cain. But he would go on to direct Young Guns, among other films, which I love Young Guns. And it stars Craig Sheffer, who was in films like Nightbreed. I think this might have been the second film he was in. And Emilio Estevez, who was a younger up-and-coming guy. He had been in The Breakfast Club. And I guess either, I don't know if it's because of that movie or because his dad was Martin Sheen, but he was actually given a bit of power to write the script to this movie. And then when this movie's coming out, he was in the middle of getting a project to write and direct and star called Wisdom. And of course, he did that after this. He also started Maximum Overdrive, which, to be honest, is to me is the best of these. I know Emilio, I love you, man. I know you hate Maximum Overdrive, but that's the best you did in this chunk of movies. Because to me, Wisdom, what little I remember, wasn't much of anything, especially that ending. This I thought was okay. I guess it's 6.19 IMDb, but a lot of reviews are pretty harsh on it. I can see why, but I don't mind the film. I don't mind. I liked it for what it was. I'll get into it. I just don't think it's a classic or anything, but I liked it for what it was. But I'm just saying, with this film and Wisdom, I thought Maximum Overdrive was the much better, or at least much more entertaining film. Yeah, it's Stephen King on cocaine. I know Emilio did an interview talking about how he didn't like it. I think Martin Sheen was there, and Martin Sheen tried to get him out of the movie. And Emilio wishes he had listened, but he did the film because it's Stephen King. I think that's a fun movie. And I think Emilio, I think his writing would get better with films like Men at Work. But I don't think he was ready for this. I mean, by the time he wrote the script, he was like 23 years old, give or take. I think he needs someone with a bit more experience to adapt the book. Now, I haven't read the book, but from what I understand, the book is more of a period piece. Here it updated to the 80s, which a lot of people had a problem with that. I didn't, because I do usually prefer a more modern take on a story. And like I said, I don't hate the film. Craig Sheffer and Emilio, I don't know why, I have a hard time saying his name. Emilio and Craig Sheffer, they are good friends, almost as if they're brothers. They'll go see Craig Sheffer's mom, who's in the hospital. There's a couple of people they know at school. Larry B. Scott from Revenge of the Nerds, he's one of them. And pretty much they'll do stuff where Emilio will steal a car and they'll go on a fun ride. He'll hit another car door prize. Hit it as they're on the run. And they're having fun doing that. And then pretty soon after, Craig Sheffer sees this lady, played by Kim Delaney, which she was probably most famous for her work on NYPD Blue. She's a waitress. he starts seeing her, liking her, and the more he sees her, the more Emilio gets a bit ticked off about it and ticked off by it. And the thing is, though, I don't think we did enough of Emilio and Craig Sheffer together to really see this big change in Craig Sheffer's life or personality. Because he almost seems like the same guy, and even then it's like, okay, he didn't steal the car, he just rode in with Emilio's character. And then Tim Delaney's little brother, Eminem, that's his name because he likes colored candy, which I'm thinking, why don't you just call him Skittles? But Eminem, who's a very spaced out kid, they help him from these two thugs who go, I want you to sing for me, little woman. And Emilio and Craig beat the hell out of them. But we only did like a bits in between where Craig doesn't seem that bad of a guy. Emilio is a bit rambunctious, but he cares for Craig. He cares for Craig's mom. So that's when we don't really see Craig as this out-of-control guy. So when he's on this journey, you go, okay, yeah, we see where he is then, we see where he is now. Hence the title. It seemed like there maybe should have been a bit more of a time period, or not time, but time span to really properly build up these character arcs. But I did like it's 85, so I love the whole vibe. I'm a sucker for that era of movies. The Oingo Boingo song at the beginning. I like the score. A lot of people don't like the score, but I love the synthesizer infused score. I quite enjoyed that. Apparently Martin Sheen had told him, Emilio, you should play the Craig Sheffer role, but Emilio's like, no, I want to play this other role. He wants to expand on his acting. Part of me thinks it would have been better if they switched roles, but I thought Craig Sheffer did fine. He did okay. Granted, there's a part of me that wishes it was someone like maybe Kevin Dillon or Michael J. Fox. Well, he's doing Back to the Future, so he's not going to do this. But I don't know, I'm just trying to think. Judd Nelson? Like, Judd Nelson, I think, would have been a... Again, Craig Sheffer's okay, but I just think there's people that would have been a bit better for the role. Like I mentioned, Judd Nelson or Kevin Dillon or someone that had a little bit more grit to them. I don't know how else to word it. But Craig Sheffer was okay. Emilio, I'm a fan of his, so I guess I'm partial. I don't mind his performance in this. Not only do I love him in Maximum Overdrive, I like him in The Breakfast Club, I liked him in Men at Work, which he directed as well as starred in and helped write the script. Judgment Night, underrated film. Of course, Young Guns. Quite a few of his films I liked. His bit part of Mission Impossible, the first one. Morgan Freeman is in this, which surprised the hell out of me. But I guess, hey, it's 1985. Before Morgan Freeman was Morgan Freeman. Academy Award winner, Morgan Freeman. So, one of his early roles where he's playing a guy that runs this pool hall, this bar, as well as the pool tables. And Sally, he's only in the, 2 or 3 scenes. About 3 scenes. And I wish he was in it more. I wish we could have seen a lot more with him. Because this is the first time that we see him. I liked how he gives some crap to Emilio. Where Emilio is messing with the pool table going, I'm playing with myself. And Morgan Freeman goes, what are you doing? You want to buy the goddamn table or what? Don't scratch my table. And the second one, he gets mad at Craig Sheffer, then gives him something to, hey, I think you're on the right course of action. I guess I got into spoilers, so spoilers starting now. Let's say Craig starts seeing Tim Delaney. Emilio starts seeing a bit different behavior. Again, we as an audience don't really see a whole lot of a different behavior because we didn't really see much of Craig Sheffer, of who his character really was. Like, there's a bit where this guy's trying to talk tough to Craig Sheffer, who just decides to walk away, and Emilio, being drunk, goes, "Hey, you don't take that from him? Listen, buddy," and then gets hit in the head and cut. His face cut, so then Craig Sheffer goes up and beats the guy up. And then Emilio later gets mad, like, "What was that all about? Why didn't you take that guy?" There's a bit in this where about halfway through, trying to think, how do I word this? Sorry, the pause, awkward pause. Morgan Freeman gets killed halfway through. I was debating whether I did say spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil it. Morgan Freeman gets killed halfway through. Because the two leads, they hustle some guys playing pool. They go out, the guys get pissed. Morgan Freeman comes out with a shotgun. It seems like everything's fine. Emilio distracts, is talking with Morgan Freeman, allowing one of the two guys to shoot and hit Morgan Freeman. Guy dies of his wounds. That's definitely the big event where you see even more of a separation. But I think that would have been even stronger if you see more of Emilio and Craig butting heads with each other, where you see this kind of push further and further away. Either one's blaming the other or something else. Maybe some people feel it was a bit too cliche, but it just feels at times unfocused. Unfocused. It's supposed to be Emilio not liking what Craig Sheffer's doing, but at the same time he's sitting there going, well, Craig Sheffer's not really doing anything wrong. I guess that's the point, because Emilio's character's so screwed up. And it seems like there are points that if Craig is supposed to be changing, then there's certain points he should be stopping this, or there's certain points he should be much more angry, much more upset before the finale. Like, there's a bit where Jill Sholin, she's in the film, she was in the original The Stepfather, she was in Cutting Class. The two find out that she had a hand in Emilio getting his face cut. So they all get drunk and they drive out and they cut Jill Sholin's hair short. Now you think there should be a point where Craig Sheffer goes, "This is wrong, this is stupid, what are you doing?" Try to stop it, things of that nature. So you don't really feel like this rising tension, this rising bubbling up that's going to finally explode. The top's ready to pop off of the champagne bottle. It just feels as if the movie's kind of coasting along until finally the third act. That's what I mean, does it feel a bit focused? Now again, I don't mind the two lead performances. I like the 80s soundtrack and score. It was cool to see some of these people before they got more famous, like Tim Delaney and Morgan Freeman and Emilio, before they got even more famous. There's certain shots that I don't mind. I know this seems like more of a film school student shot, but I still like the shot where there's a bit where Emilio's by the window and you see all this rain coming down, and because the reflection of the window, it reflects on Emilio's face, so it seems like he's crying. And he's telling the story about his dad and his family, and what led to him wanting to live with Craig and his mom. And you do get a sense that they are friends. Like, even later on, Craig Sheffer gets beaten up by these other guys, and Emilio's freaking out, going, like, they could have done worse to you, man. I wouldn't have been here. It would have been my fault. And Craig's like, it's not your fault, man. No, but so maybe like moments like that, I don't mind. I'm not saying they need to snipe each other's heads and snipe their heads off every minute. But there could be moments of that, and there could be moments of rising tension. I just don't think there was enough moments of rising tension that I really felt as if Emilio's simmering. Still be somewhat friends, but still there's something simmering there. I think there could have been a bit more of that. And it feels like the movie isn't as dangerous as it could have been. I didn't. Emilio, the worst. I mean, they hustle some guys, whereas the other guys that killed Morgan Freeman. So then you're thinking, okay, now it's going to ratchet up another bit where now Emilio wants to get revenge on the guys that killed Morgan Freeman. And Craig Sheffer's going to be like, no, no, don't do that, man, don't do that. Okay, fine, I won't. But then Emilio finds out who it is, and he takes matters into his own hands, and he goes too far, and he kills them or does something else. And then he gets more mad at Craig Sheffer. Why weren't you with me, man? You're supposed to have my backup. And Craig's like, why do you do this? No, it's not too far. If it's not far enough, this guy was our friend, man. Don't you care about that? Don't you give a shit about that? No, like, the worst is Emilio gets butthurt at Craig Sheffer at times. Almost to the point it seems like he has more of a... If this film was made today, you would think Emilio has a crush on Craig Sheffer. Like a weird sequel to Brokeback Mountain. I mean, the way Emilio comes off, it seems like he's mad that his love is seeing this woman. That's what it comes off more as. Which I don't know. I mean, maybe that would have at least been more of an interesting hook. I don't know. I don't know. But again, the worst that they do is they cut Jill Schoen's hair, which is messed up, but it seems like a prank that middle schoolers would do. I don't cut her hair, like the Little Rascals. I don't cut her hair. It's screwed up. It's not right, but you think it's going to be much more daring or much more dangerous or much more, but it's not. It comes off as like a bit more mainstream version of an after-school special. And then get more into spoilers. You get to the third act. Craig Sheffer again is with Tim Delaney. They're trying to find her brother Eminem. They find him. He's out of it. They take him to the hospital. Craig Sheffer hears Eminem say something. Goes back. Finds these drugs. You find out Emilio sold the drugs. I need a little bit of cash. Craig goes, you just don't get it, do you? You just don't get it, do you? Get out. Oh, fine, I'll come back when you're more calm. No, get out forever. I don't ever want to see you again. Fine, I'll do it. I can take care of myself. Craig goes, you're not taking the car. Emilio punches him. He gets in a car chase with the cops. And you think, I mean, granted, part of me was surprised on how it ended because it ended such in a tame way. He trashes the car. Craig goes see his friend. He's in like a juvenile delinquent center. They pretty much kind of say goodbye to each other. And then you have this weird bit where you get the idea that Craig's going to still be with Tim Delaney. He's going to see her later. But then, like, he steals this guy's car, goes around the block, gets out of the car, gives the keys back, and goes, line up, dude. And then walks away. And I'm sitting there going, did he not learn anything? Like, what the hell is this? What was this about? As if, see, I'm not such a stick in the mud. But that's the point. It's not about you being stick in the mud. It's about you being more mature, more grown up. But now it's like, oh, I'm going to steal by just because he didn't keep the car. But that's not how the law works. The guy can still go, hey, this guy stole my car. Yeah, he gave it back, but he still stole my car. Might have been for a minute, but he still stole it. But I guess that'd be a hard thing to explain to the cops. Wait, he stole your car, but he brought it back? It's probably why the guy's like, how the hell am I going to explain this to the cops? And it's not like today where everything's under surveillance. So everything would be filmed. Someone would film with their phone. But it just felt like a weird bit. I don't know why they had that in there. Just to show that, hey, he's still the cool guy. He still got a bit of that rebel spirit in him. That we honestly didn't see much before. Because he is not the one who stole the car earlier. You didn't really see him as a rebel of any sort. He seemed like a decent guy from the beginning. And now he's a decent guy now. Only, hell, him stealing the car, granted he gave it back, was the most rebellious thing he did. And this is supposed to be after he's learned something. Just before, what else did he do that was rebellious before then? He rode with Emilio. Okay, maybe that. What, he protected this guy, Eminem, who's the Kim Delaney's younger brother? I won't call it rebellious. He played pool. I mean, you say it's hustling, but it's like, you play pool with someone or you play any game with someone, you happen to be better. Sorry, you thought you were hot shit. It's only hustling because you lost. If you won, would it still be considered hustling? Like I said, the two leads I don't mind. Morgan Freeman, I wish he was in it more. Just the bits with him and Craig Sheffer, I think there's a lot that could have been showcased with that. Because one of the few bits, Morgan Freeman shows Craig Sheffer this ring, and Craig Sheffer looks at it and goes, I like you, man, but I ain't going to marry you. And no, Morgan Freeman's showing him this ring that, from someone special before. He just brought a nice father figure aspect, and the fact that you don't really get to see much of that. And like I said, it was a bit more focused. You don't need the Jill Schoelen cutting her hair thing. The stuff with Eminem, the younger brother. Like I said, I think if you took the same, you build up the two characters more, see a bit more of their reckless, rebellious nature, but they're still, decent enough to see Craig Sheffer's mom and so forth. And then you see more of an apparent change in Craig Sheffer's personality, Craig Sheffer's behavior. You see even more of that. And then if you showcase more Morgan Freeman, and then maybe an hour in he dies, if you have to do that. And then you see that this is the breaking point of Emilio. He's been losing his friend, but now this other guy, his father figure, one of their is dead. They go their separate ways. Emilio loses it, goes too far. He can't be helped. Tries to bait Craig Sheffer to get him out of a jam. Maybe we see 1 or 2 or 3 points earlier where Craig Sheffer did that. He's like, I can't do that for you now here. That was then, this is now. I told you the cops would take care of it. I told you the girl would be more responsible. I'm with Kim Delaney. I want to be a grown-up. You think we're still rebellious, but you took it too far. I can't. It seemed like that would have been more of a focused direction to take into it. Like I said, I don't know why he steals the guy's car at the end, and then brings it back. Line up, dude. So yeah, I don't hate the film. It was interesting to watch one time. Like I said, I like the two leads. I liked them enough. Like I said, Morgan Freeman, Kim Delaney. Again, I like the score. I like some of the shots, like the rain. I know people say that's a cliche shot, but it worked for me. But I think there's other elements that could have made it better. Again, I know people are mad it wasn't a period piece. A lot of people who like the book apparently really hate the movie. Because I guess Emilio changed the book, changed it very differently from the book. Never read the book. I know bits and pieces, but I don't know the book. I think in the book, I think Emilio's character in this period piece would have gone out of jail. Maybe went too far, killed people, and then got killed. It seemed like it would be more of what you figured the ending was going to go. And I thought that was kind of where the ending was going to go, but it's not. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's different. Can't really be mad. It's trying to do something a bit different. But maybe some people feel it's a bit too tame, a bit too safe. This is up to you to judge. But yeah, I didn't hate the film. I've seen much worse. With that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.